Hey, what's up guys, another video here. So today I want to talk about how a simp is paying for his wife's debt instead of buying a home. So this was on the Ramsey show recently, and this is a simp in Florida that has been married for a year and is deciding between buying a home or paying off his wife's student loans. Fortunately, Florida is not a community property state, but his first mistake was marrying without owning a home. He should have acquired the home first before marriage, so he has a built-in protection as the home's title will be in his name only and it preceded the marriage. It would be a hard reach for the ex-spouse to lay claim on this asset if it went into litigation, but not impossible depending on the situation. So naturally, he didn't acquire an asset. So homes in Florida in certain areas aren't very expensive, but he could have had, for example, a loan that was fairly unconventional. So for example, 3% down, and then he could have done it that way. Again, he wouldn't have been purchasing or should have purchased a large property to begin with because he has no children. He wasn't living with anyone else. But that was his first mistake. So if he acquires a home and has his spouse on the title, then in the case of a divorce, then they're going to have to split the home. And regardless of her income, his income, it's going to end up messy because naturally one spouse has to buy out the other spouse for the equity in the home, or it has to be sold and split that way. And of course, there may not be a fair split in the mortgage payments or the down payment. So again, he's getting the short end of the stick, which is not good. So again, you want to purchase your property before the marriage and have your name on the title only to protect yourself in the best way possible. But again, it doesn't always work out where it's clean like that, and she may lay claim on the house for whatever reason. So again, it's not a guarantee, but again, it is probably the best situation where you acquire the house before the marriage and it doesn't come back to bite you in the butt. So like I alluded to earlier, he most likely has no prenup. Again, that wasn't mentioned on the show. So the home will have to be sold in the case of divorce, and his spouse most likely will not be contributing a sizable amount for the down payment as she already has crushing student loan debt. There's no guarantee that the wife will be fiscally responsible during the marriage as she hasn't made considerable payments to attempt to pay this debt off early. So again, it looks like he and his spouse, they don't have, or they're not meeting on the same page for financial responsibility. From that perspective, it's really dangerous, right? So if you're not on the same page financially, for example, she has a ton of debt and she hasn't paid off a considerable amount. However, he has no debt and he has considerable savings in cash, which is a mistake to begin with. But again, it seems like there's a disconnect and it's not gonna lead to a good outcome. The rate of divorce is fairly high, so he's really in a tight spot when it comes to having an equitable amount in the down payment. But anyways, even though it wasn't revealed during the call regarding what his wife did, we can assume her annual income is lower than his annual income as he had saved a considerable amount in cash prior to the marriage, while she had nothing saved at all. This can mean that he had a higher income, better spending and saving habits, and had the sense not to take on crushing student loan debt. However, he could have it paid in other ways, maybe a scholarship, maybe his parents paid for it. But anyways, this being said, all these circumstances can lead up to the perfect storm in the case of a potential divorce. So, he's not setting himself up well because he has all the cash down on the line and he's paying off a debt that isn't his. And in the case of a divorce, he can't go back and claim, oh, I paid off XYZ debt for my spouse and then I want to have it back. So the likelihood that he'll claw back those debt payments is pretty much zero. Again, hopefully you guys learn something. Again, if you're going to buy a home, make sure that it's in your name only and it's prior to the marriage so you protect yourself at all costs. But anyways, thanks guys for watching. If you guys are interested in my book, please check out the Amazon link below. It describes how I became a multimillionaire at age 35 by only having salary income of 40K to 81.5K from the ages of 22 to 35. It goes over income, expenses, and more importantly, investing. So that's it guys, and stay tuned for the next video.